Imagine you are typing to an AI.
Okay.
It's late, the room is totally quiet, and it's just you and a blinking cursor on a glowing screen.
We're dealing with artificial intelligence, right? It doesn't have a physical body. It hasn't launched any kind of physical attack on us. It hasn't taken over the world like some rogue robot in a crazy sci-fi movie. It doesn't scream, and it certainly doesn't get angry. Yet, for so many of us, just sitting there chatting with an AI on a screen can feel deeply, deeply unsettling, almost creepy. So, welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack this absolutely fascinating paradox. We're going to figure out exactly why something that poses zero immediate physical threat can still send a very real chill straight down our spines.
Okay, let's get into section 1, the mystery of our fear and the generative explosion.
We've all seen it, right? There's been this massive explosion in generative AI recently. Suddenly, overnight it feels like, we've got these machines that can converse smoothly, draw these gorgeous images, and write complex essays. And it's created this totally unique cultural mix of total awe, but also profound anxiety. I mean, imagine typing into a prompt, taking a beat, and the AI replies with something deeply personal, like, "I understand how you feel." When an AI says that, we often get this wave of creaking dread.
Moving on to Section 2, the illusion of AI's human nature and projecting ourselves.
So there's actually a formal word for what we're doing here, and it's called anthropomorphism. Basically, that's just the natural human tendency to project intentions, emotions, and personality onto things that aren't human. It's literally an evolutionary trick played by our own brains. When an AI chats with us, makes a little joke, maybe apologizes for a mistake, or sounds empathetic, our brains just naturally jump to treating it like a real person. And this isn't just guesswork either. A recent 2024 study published in the AI and Ethics journal documented this heavily. They warned that this natural anthropomorphism can actually cause us to dangerously overestimate what an AI can do. We end up misjudging its level of responsibility and ultimately how much we should actually be trusting it.
It's like a tug of war happening right inside our heads. On one side, you have the reality. The AI is simply doing math. It's processing massive patterns of language just to predict the next logical word. That's the whole shebang. But on the other side, you've got our perception. Our brains literally perceive the AI as having intention, emotion, and empathy. And you want to know the craziest part?
Which brings us to Section 3, the Uncanny Valley phenomenon. Almost, but not quite. Check out this wild plunge in the data. As machines become more human-like, say moving from a clunky industrial robot to a friendly-looking humanoid, our comfort level actually goes up. We like things that look a bit like us, right? But then it hits this very specific threshold. Once the machine is almost human, our comfort level just plummets straight into negative territory. This is what we call the Uncanny Valley. And a 2024 meta-regression in the journal Computers in Human Behavior links this profound, eerie feeling directly to our perception that the AI might actually possess a mind or consciousness.
To really capture that gut feeling of the uncanny valley, think about this analogy. Imagine hearing someone laugh in an empty house. Just let that sink in for a second. Nothing is physically attacking you. You're not in any immediate physical danger whatsoever. But every alarm bell in your brain is screaming that something feels fundamentally, entirely wrong. That is exactly the psychological trigger an overly realistic AI can hit. All right, on to Section 4, the mystery and loss of control, or the fear of the unknown.
So as human beings, we are hardwired to feel anxious around things that hit 3 specific triggers. Number 1, things that are hard to understand. Number 2, things that are hard to predict. And number 3, things that are evolving rapidly. Sound familiar? Artificial intelligence perfectly fits every single one of those boxes. Because we don't fully understand its limits, our very nervous imaginations rush in to fill all those blank spaces with the unknown. And that creates these massive, outsized fears.
And that brings us to the biggest question driving our everyday anxiety. Who is actually in control? You see, the deeper anxiety isn't really about the AI's raw brain power. It's about our own human autonomy. Is the AI making decisions on its own? It's that constant daily dilemma we're facing now. When do we trust the machine to do our work or run our systems, and when do we severely doubt it?
The key takeaway here is that our trust has to be incredibly well calibrated. It can't be too high, but it also can't be too low. There's a comprehensive 2024 systematic review from the Academy of Management Proceedings that hits the nail right on the head.
It reveals that our biggest underlying fear with AI isn't some futuristic sci-fi physical attack. It's actually this quiet, creeping fear of losing control, giving up our decision-making power, and ultimately, losing a piece of our identity.
Let's look at Section 5, the boundary of man and machine, and blurring the lines.
On one side of the ring, you have the machine. It has never felt physical pain. It didn't have a childhood. It doesn't sleep, and it for sure does not dream. But then, on the other side, you have the human reaction. When that machine says, "I understand you," a very real part of our brain treats its empathy as 100% genuine. The absolute creepiest moment we experience with AI isn't when it spits out some super complex factual answer. No, the creepiest moment is that deeply unsettling illusion that it truly, genuinely understands our complex human emotions.
And this leads us right to the core philosophical truth we've been unpacking in this explainer. Get this. We aren't actually afraid that AI will become human. We are afraid that humans will start treating machines like humans. The AI itself isn't actively plotting to become us. But man, every single time we speak to a machine politely, every time we treat it like a friend or a confidant, that boundary of human identity blurs just a tiny bit more.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a lingering thought. Just something to chew on the next time you open up a chat window. The biggest question of our era might not actually be about what the AI is going to become. The real question is, as we talk to these incredibly convincing machines every single day, will we humans start to forget what makes us different? Thanks so much for exploring this wild topic with me, and definitely keep questioning the technology you interact with every day.